So this is my UNCC parking app. Here you see the loading screen. And when we load into the application, we end up on the home screen. The home screen, as you can see, has the UNCC parking app name and the UNCC logo in the top, as well as a menu icon. Down at the bottom, you see a map and a list icon. So if we look at the map, we can do a couple things. The first thing we can do is we can scroll. So we can move around campus and a limited range around campus. We can also look at specific parking decks and parking lots throughout campus. So you see several green and gray icons. If I click on one of the gray ones, I'll go to East Deck 2. You can see that it's full. Gray denotes that it's full, so that the users don't even bother looking at that if they're in a rush and they want to find a parking space that's readily available with spaces. So instead I can look at lot 5A or lot 5, and I see here in the detail view that the count of cars is 47 out of 582, and for lot 5A it's 0 out of 251, so this lot is completely empty. With that information, you can determine how likely it is for that lot to be filled by the time you get to it. But also, if you've just changed your permit or you're new to campus and you're not sure where to go, you can also ask for directions. So if here you load up, I'll start at my apartment complex and I'll go down Mallard Church Creek Road. Turn on to Mary Alexander and navigate through some other roads on campus until I get to the turn location for lot 5, which is here on the right of that navigation. So if I decide that I no longer need to navigate or I'm done with the navigation, I can just hit back and back again, and I end up back on the map menu. If I go over to the list view, however, you see that I no longer see anything to do with the map, but unlike the map view, where I have icons denoting full or not full, I do have the location here. In the list view, I no longer have the location, but I have the lot and deck name, which is useful for more experienced students and faculty who know the different locations on campus. And it also tells me a snapshot of the detail view, which is the number of cars currently in the parking lot or parking deck, as well as the maximum capacity of that lot or deck. It'll highlight red if it's full, and otherwise it will stay the same. It'll also list out the type of permits allowed in each lot, such as lot 6. I'm a commuter, so all of my lots are commuters. However, residents are also allowed into lot 6A. And again, if I wanted to, I could look at the detail view. Here again, here's East Deck 2 detail view, lot 5, and they're the same. So they both access the same detail view. It's just a different method of showing the information for new users versus older or existing users, and also just kind of preference. Some people prefer more graphical information, while some people prefer more textual information. And then if I go into the menu, there's a few things that you can do here. You can look at settings, you have notifications, and you have your profile. So let's start with settings. You can do a couple things here. You can turn on your location. So this application will use your GPS to be able to navigate you to parking spaces if you want that. You can also upload images from your camera to as attachments for citations, which you can appeal inside of your profile. I'll get to that in a minute. And also you can customize the way in which you get your notifications. Let's go to notifications next. So here you see a list of notifications. There's some fairly generic first-time notifications, but the second one you see here is please sign into your UNCC student account to access blah 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 blah. I could click on that notification to read more, but I do legitimately want to log in so I can show you a few other things. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'll click on the profile icon, and it'll take me directly to a login page. So I click that, I type in my information, and it'll sign me directly into my student account on the application. And here you see a few options: set frequented buildings, view permits, view citations, and update license plate. There might be a few other things that would be included in here. Basically whatever is most commonly accessed by students and faculty. Again, view citations will also allow you to appeal those citations so that you can use your phone on the spot instead of having to take an image and go home to appeal your citation. You can appeal it as soon as you find out that you had one. You can also set your frequented buildings. And here is a list of all the buildings that you visit on a weekly basis. So I'm primarily an architecture student, or at least that's the primary location of all of my classes. So most of the time I spend on the east side of campus near the stores building. So if I wanted to, I could edit that to another building on campus or add additional ones. So if I wanted to see some of the parking options near Woodward Hall, I could add that building. But what this does is it prioritizes, if we go back to the list view, it prioritizes the parking decks and parking lots the list view shows based on where you tend to be on campus. Stores is right over here. I'm not going to want to park over here on the north end of campus or way over on the west side of campus if I can avoid it. So the closer I can park to my building, the better off I will be. And that is the UNCC parking app that I've designed. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know any feedback that you have that I could improve the design or the usability.